So wouldn't you know it, I'd run out of bobbin in the middle of a little video, which we all do. I find that I only run out of bobbin when I'm almost done with a project. And you're done with your bag. That's it. Clip up all your threads, cut off the excess on the zipper, turn it right side out, and you're done. Get out my little screwdriver, gently pop those corners up. Zip it up, and isn't that cute? I love these. Okay, so this one is lined. There's a little lining in it. This is the Amy Butler fabric. Let me reach over here and grab the sections that I started. So I'm going to use a hot pink zipper on this. Again, the teeth or the coil is right here. I'm going to turn it upside down on my face fabric. And if you were an experienced sewer, all you do is put your lining on top of it like this and sew it once. For us that are a little challenged in the bag making department, I'm going to sew it twice. Again, it's upside down. I've put my seam allowance for the tape on my zipper, seam allowance for my bag, all in one spot. I'm just sewing someplace in the tape. And if you have a zipper foot that's about 1/4 of an inch, just use the side of it. And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to sew it from the other side. So we're going to put this together, right sides together. Test it to make sure we're in the right ballpark. We are. Now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to sew just inside or to the left of the stitching that we did just a minute ago. And what that does is that it hides one set of stitching, so it looks finished. That's all you do. Check it. Yep. Now I would probably press it at this point, just so that I was even and pretty. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to sew the lining and the outside. And remember, with the one that isn't lined, the next seam that you do is the one that's parallel to the zipper. And so we're going to sew this seam, which is parallel to the zipper, and we're going to turn it around and we're going to sew this seam, which is parallel to the zipper. And that's what that looks like. Now we're going to turn it right side out. Remember to fold over your corner, poke. Fold over the corner, poke. And what I found is that because I ironed inner lining on this side, you may have to take a little bit thicker seam allowance here to make the two fit together properly. These guys are doing a pretty good job though. But if you have excess, just make your lining seam just a tad bit bigger. So instead of using maybe 1/4 of an inch, use 3/8, or if you're using a 3/8, use a half, just so that they fit together nicely and you don't have excess lining. I think I could probably take just a tad more on the lining on this one. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to change back to my 2-toe. And I just took about another 1/8. Now you can cut it off if you want to, but nobody's going to see it. Trim that, pop it back together. Nice. Now let's put a pull on it. And for all of you right-handers out there, I'm going to try and put it on right-handed, which means I'm going to put it on the long side on the right or the left first. I'm going to back it up so I've got something to hang on to. Then I'm going to make these even across. It looks to me like I can cut right about there, which is the side of the shoulder. Tuck that in there, hold it, and jiggle it on. Pretty close. I'm going to come up just a little bit. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to do a French seam on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the center of the zipper over the center of the seam, even out the lining, because the lining is going to want to do weird stuff. So the lining seams have to align too. You could definitely put a pin in it if you wanted to at this point. I just normally don't. Center the seam over the zipper, top stitch. And I'm going to top stitch it pretty tight so I don't have to trim it. Back stitch over the zipper. Now if you're using a molded tooth instead of the coil, when you get to a point where you're going to top stitch over it, you need to start on one side and use your needle and put it down between, and then come over here and then back stitch it. And sometimes what you have to do is you just have to pick up your foot, pull it back, and go over it again. It's real simple, but the main thing is you don't want to snap a needle on one of those little plastic teeth. But you can get between them. So I'm going to clip off the extra, turn it inside out. You could definitely press it at this point. Move the pull out of the way so you don't hit it. There we go. Press this and just go over it one more time. And I feel where the seam allowance is and try to come right outside of it. That's it. And this is what you get on the inside. So it's totally covered. I would go back and forth over the zipper again, and you're done. So I hope I've inspired you to go down the rabbit hole with me. I will be at the Rocky Mountain Quilt Show in Loveland in August, and in Houston at the Quilt International. I hope to see you there. This is the Zipper Lady, over and out.